Foundation settlement can be serious. Cracks that start here can soon appear here and here. A healthy foundation is a healthy home. Rely on the experts. Rely on Ramjack Foundation Repair.
You're watching News 12 on your side.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
The city of Aiken honoring the life of one of its most influential sons, Fred Kavanaugh, plus a local horse rescue healing our heroes with a special kind of therapy. And our first alert weather team tracking storms and a chance for severe weather tomorrow night into Wednesday. But first, all new at 6 o'clock today, the city of Aiken honoring longtime Mayor Fred Kavanaugh. He served as mayor for 24 years before retiring in 2015, and he passed away at his home last week. Today's wreath-laying ceremony was at the same place the city honored Kavanaugh downtown with a statue in Aiken years ago. And that's where our Craig Allison is live. And Craig, today's ceremony was packed, really showing how much he meant to this community.
He's a man that will always be remembered in Aiken for his virtue. His words are on banners all across downtown Aiken. And while this ceremony was only temporary in time, it is going to be permanent for those that were here and especially to those that were close to him.
He was a listener. He wasn't a very big talker, but he listened to you. He listened to what you had to say. And I think the city will really miss him. I know I will.
Alex Kavanaugh is the former mayor of Aiken's son. While he is proud of how respected his dad was on both sides of the political aisle during his time as mayor, he especially remembers how involved he was with the community.
He got involved with the Scouts, got me involved at that time, and that lasted until we were in high school. It was a great thing to be a part of. He was made an honorary Eagle Scout, which I thought was nice.
Everyone from South Carolina state senators to city council members shared stories about Fred's generosity as a fully involved Aikenite, something especially present in his family.
Lee and Fred, for quite a few years, were very good to open their home to the National Day of Prayer Committee. We would meet regularly to prepare for each May when we would have the National Day of Prayer.
While he may not have been born here, his legacy remains through his work and his family.
They were always so gracious and kind and an active part of the committee.
And I was honored enough to be his son. He did so much for the city.
Now, while Governor McMaster wasn't at today's ceremony, South Carolina Senator Tom Young Jr. did speak on his behalf and said that all South Carolina state flags will be lowered to half-mast on Wednesday, January 4th, in honor of Mayor Kavanaugh. In Aiken, Craig Allison, on your side.
Okay, thanks for bringing us there and taking us around, Craig. Here with Anthony Carpino in the Weather Center, and it looks like you guys are checking the chance for storms tomorrow.
Yeah, we are really going to start to notice those storm chances as we go through portions of tomorrow night all the way through the day on Wednesday. Right now, look at the radar. We're drying the CSRA, and we are going to stay on the drier side as we continue on through the rest of this evening, all the way through tomorrow evening. Right now, all of that severe weather is still off to our west. An observed tornado in northern sections of Louisiana. This is the system that's going to bring us showers and storms as we go through the day on Tuesday night and through the day on Wednesday. So getting through Tuesday night, you saw most of the day on Tuesday actually on the drier side. Then as we go through about 9 to about 11 o'clock at night, that first wave of energy will move through the region, bring us some heavier downpours and a rumble of thunder. The severe aspect of that will be coming as we go through the day on Wednesday, specifically in the morning on Wednesday. A good line of showers and storms will be developing off to our west. This is the actual cold front side of the system. We could be talking about some gustier winds here or there. The tornado threat, that looks to be south of the CSRA, but we'll talk more about that severe threat coming up in just a few minutes. Laura, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Anthony. An Aiken woman is in the hospital in critical condition after she was found unconscious at Langley Pond Park. The sheriff's office says she had severe injuries when they found her. They say the woman was found yesterday morning laying next to her car. No word yet on how she ended up there or any possible suspects or what might have happened to her, but deputies tell us this was an isolated incident. They have not had any similar reports recently. In a separate incident just a few minutes from the park, a victim was shot multiple times today. Johnston police say the shootout happened on Johnson Street. They say 3 people were involved, but only 2 were shooting. Police say the two suspects ran away from the scene, and the victim was taken to the hospital but was released earlier today, so that is some good news. Right now, no one is charged. Over the last several years, COVID has played a major role in how we celebrate the holidays, but this year was a lot different. A lot of people visited friends and family, some for the first time in years. And looking at the CDC's COVID spread map, now they're starting to see the results of some of that mingling. Most of our local areas are green right now, so that's good. We kind of had an early holiday peak, but right now we're seeing low transmission areas and low spread. Aiken is the only major county that's seeing higher spread. It's yellow. That means medium levels of spread, and you can see most of South Carolina is seeing a good bit of COVID cases right now. But locally, we spoke to doctors today. They say this map isn't telling the whole story. Our Taylor Martin is breaking down how COVID, RSV, and flu are still putting family members in the hospital.
Doctors are predicting COVID cases will continue to rise throughout the month of January as they have over the last 2 weeks. Health experts at AU Health say they are seeing an increase of almost 100% in hospitalizations due to COVID.
We're up to 20-some patients in the hospital with COVID, where for many months we were at maybe 5.
Dr. Vasquez says they also expect an increase in flu rates as well. He tells me the combination of the two has led to concerns of another illness.
The other thing that we have seen as a consequence of an increase in COVID, an increase in influenza, is an increase in bacterial pneumonias due to a bacteria called Streptococcus.
He says vaccines are the only sure way to help stop the spread of these viruses. But the CDC reports that as of December, less than half of U.S. adults received the flu vaccine. When it comes to COVID, Dr. Vasquez says it's going to be around for a while, so it's a good idea to stay updated on your shots.
So again, vaccines. After that, then we have to follow our guidelines that we use for all respiratory tract infections.
In Augusta, Taylor Martin, on your side.
Health experts also advise you to get tested before any large gatherings to make sure everyone you'll be with gets tested as well. You can also order at-home tests for free on covidtest.gov. A new era for Augusta kicks off tomorrow with Mayor Garnett Johnson's first commission meeting. Johnson has spoken to us about his plans to address crime, to build up small businesses in the area, and to fix stormwater issues. You can see his answers to those questions on our website. We have that posted. Also in commission tomorrow, Brandon Garrett, Wayne Guilfoyle, and Alvin Mason will have their oath of office ceremonies. Those start at 1 in the commission chambers. For Garrett and Guilfoyle, Mason's ceremony is at 1:30. Over the last 4 years, on average, we've lost more than 320 active duty service members to suicide. This year, through September 30th, that number was 243. Veterans who we spoke to say problems don't disappear when you retire, and in some cases, get worse. But the Aiken Equine Horse Rescue is working to change that. Our Will Rio shows us how they're healing with horses.
Joe Cruz spent most of his life in the Army.
I was in Desert Storm and did a couple of tours in Iraq.
He's retired now after 24 years of service.
When he came back from the last war, he was totally different.
His wife Nancy says he's a man of few words.
Big old dog.
Until he's at the Equine Rescue of Aiken with thoroughbreds like Tommy.
You can talk to these animals, they understand what you say.
Joe is a part of the Trust and Release program with the rescue. Its goal is to let anyone dealing with PTSD or just everyday stress come and spend time with a horse.
This is my place to come and just relax, with these animals. I mean, they're awesome. I mean,
it's almost like an escape for you.
An escape for me, yes.
In 2006, the rescue opened its gates. Since then, rescue executive director Jim Rhodes says the program has taken off.
The place was started to help horses. It quickly became apparent to me that we would help more people than we ever would help horses.
If you're a mother, father, active military, first responder, or veteran, Joe says this is a program that saved him.
They help us as much as we help them.
In Aiken County, Will Rio on your side.
For more information on how to volunteer at the Equine Rescue, you can head to our website. And remember, if you or anyone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts, you can call or text the new national hotline number any time of day. That's 988. Fresh off their fourth quarter comeback, and Peach Bowl win, the Bulldogs are eyeing that trip to the national championship next week. We'll see you in LA. That's next in sports.
And as we go through this evening, we're talking about nice clear skies. Right now, a gorgeous sunset over Columbia County right there in Grovetown. But we're going to be talking about some cloudy skies for tomorrow and the chance for some showers and storms. Break down the full forecast coming up next.
And before we head to break, we're going to get a quick look at some of your New Year's resolutions.
Stay alive and stay healthy. Healthy as I am anyway.
My New Year's resolution is to be a better person than I was in 2022.
My New Year's resolution is just to live a more well-rounded lifestyle, I think. We started rock climbing recently, which we've really enjoyed, and just kind of forgiving yourself and allowing yourself to indulge and have fun every once in a while, so.
Weekends and even on the holidays.
Call attorney John Foy and Associates. Morning, afternoon, night, Monday through Sunday, 24/7. Our first alert commitment to you is now 5 meteorologists, always tracking weather that impacts you, telling you what we know as soon as we know it. All the tools, the latest technology, and the largest team of 5 meteorologists. First Alert is our investment in your family's safety. News 12, NBC 26 First Alert weather on your side.
You've enjoyed the WRDW app on your phone, but did you know you can also stream it on your TV? Even if you cut the cord, you don't have to lose your local news.
Wait, what?
Or your First Alert weather with the free WRDW streaming app.
Well, that's good news.
And it's easy to do. Just type in or search WRDW, and you've got your local news, First Alert weather, sports, and more. The WRDW News app on your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV store.
How do we get her out there?
Circle, a network that offers you a variety of programming from classic country shows to westerns, country lifestyle, and legendary music performances. Everything country is right here. Join us in the Circle.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
Good evening, everyone, and how about them dogs? Georgia is going back to the national championship after taking down Ohio State in the Peach Bowl, and it was a game for the ages. Despite getting off to another slow start and not having any answers for the Buckeyes' passing attack early on, the Bulldogs battled, scratched, and clawed their way back into the game with the odds stacked against them. When the clock struck midnight on the new year, Ohio State missed a potential game-winning field goal, sending Mercedes-Benz Stadium and all the Georgia Bulldogs fans around the world into a frenzy.
We pride ourselves on being a fourth-quarter team, and in the fourth quarter, when we needed it most, that's when we had it. Never doubted this team ever since the first game of the season.
I'm so proud of this team because we different from last year's team. We done been through this adversity, and we fought back strong twice now, thank God. So I'm just proud to see them boys never give up.
The only team left for the Bulldogs to hunt in order for them to become back-to-back national champions is this year's Cinderella story, the TCU Horned Frogs. These two teams will meet in the national championship 1 week from today in California at SoFi Stadium. And Laura, we're going to have all the latest coverage leading up to the big game throughout later on into the week, leading into next Monday.
Cannot wait for that, and what a moment. I mean, I know you were in the stadium, I was in the stadium. You really can't describe that feeling.
It was unbelievable. You know, when the field goal missed, I was in the tunnel and I had the perfect view of it, and it was just everybody went crazy except for the Ohio reporters who I was standing next to. Actually.
Yeah, of course.
But everyone went crazy, and it was just so much fun to be a part of that.
Yeah, those games happen a lot for Georgia fans, but they never go Georgia's way. So as a Georgia fan, the last second, descending from the clouds moment was pretty epic to watch. So.
It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Okay, all right. We were looking forward to all your coverage in LA next week, and we will be along for the ride. Okay, closer to home, taking a look outside, I-20 and Riverwatch Parkway tonight. Not a bad evening, but you are tracking some possible storms coming our way tomorrow, Anthony.
Yeah, so specifically as we go through the day tomorrow night and then into the day on Wednesday. I think most of your Tuesday is actually going to be pretty nice out there. We're expected to be back into the 70s just like what we saw today, and then we'll just notice a little bit more clouds in the afternoon. That will be turning into some showers and storms later on into the night as well. But for now, we are nice and dry and seeing mostly clear skies. We're having our camera in Grovetown pointed off toward the west. You actually have a great view of Venus right now, and above that, out of frame, you have Saturn pattern, so a couple planets to be checking out as you're heading out the door this evening. Temperature-wise, we made it down to the mid-60s after a high of 75 degrees today, so well above average for this time of year. In fact, close to 15 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. So a major flip in temperatures over the last week and a half, with temperatures starting off in the teens and 20s the Christmas weekend, ending up into the 60s and 70s over the last few days. We'll keep the low 60s going for the next hour or so, then dipping back down into the upper 50s, turning to mid-50s by about 11 o'clock tonight. Then we're going to notice some patchy fog developing as we get closer to midnight as well. So as we take the clock forward a little bit more, 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, waking up with patchy dense fog across the CSRA. That will likely stay in place as we go through tomorrow morning, all the way between about 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning, before that eventually ends up starting to break apart a little bit more. Back to the mid-70s here in Augusta for tomorrow afternoon, and not ruling out some locations getting to the upper 70s, flirting with that 80-degree point tomorrow afternoon. Now, the only downside with those warm temperatures, that will provide a little bit of fuel for those scattered showers and thunderstorms that will end up moving into the region as we go through tomorrow night. So look at radar right now. We are dry in the CSRA. We have a few isolated showers along 85, but most of the severe weather is off to our west. Places like Arkansas, northern sections of Louisiana, that purple, that's a confirmed tornado on the ground in the northern half of the state there. But this system will continue to track to the west as we go through, to the east as we go through the day tomorrow. 4:30 in the afternoon, we are dry in the CSRA, but a lot of those heavier showers and storms are off to our west. This will move into the region as we go through the night on Tuesday, about 10 o'clock in the evening on Tuesday. That's where we can expect more of those heavier showers and storms, a quick wave of heavy rainfall, and then we'll actually see a little bit of a lull in the action waking up on Wednesday morning. But a final push and that final cold front itself will move through the region as we go through the second half of Wednesday morning, and then we'll actually dry things out as we go through the afternoon. Depending on how long that front takes to push through the CSRA, could be seeing some stronger to severe weather in some of our southern counties. So we do have that marginal risk posted for the entire CSRA. The greatest threat there coming in the form of some gusty winds, maybe some minor flooding in the usual trouble spots there. But the tornadic threat, that looks to stay south and west of the CSRA, so some good news there. Once we get past that front, we're talking about clearing skies and cooler temperatures, seasonal again, back to the upper 50s and low 60s for the upcoming weekend.
All right, new year, new you. We all hear it, some say it, few actually do it. Coming up, local gyms say it's not as hard as you think to stick to your goals. And the worst fear for a parent is something major going wrong with their kid's health. Coming up, how the Children's Hospital of Georgia is making sure there's help if you need it. Every year around this time, we hear people say, this is the year I'm going to get in the gym. For some, locally, the grind has already started, but as a lot of us know, it only takes a couple of months, maybe even a couple of weeks for the new year motivation to run out. Our Sydney Hood shows us local gyms' advice on sticking to your goals.
We hear it all the time. New year, new me, and if getting a gym membership made your list of resolutions, that means big gains for local gyms.
All of our morning classes today have been really full, even our mid-morning classes, which are usually a little bit slower.
Behind the counter, Richie Iannacone greets new and old faces looking to come in, hit the weights, and break a sweat.
We may get maybe 10% more folks coming in.
10% showed up today at Richard Iannacone's studio.
That's definitely just something that comes with New Year's resolutions.
But Iannacone says only about 5% actually stick it out.
And then you have the folks that do their resolutions, and by Valentine's Day, they kind of slip out of that resolution.
It takes dedication to make it to the finish line.
We want it to be a life change, not just, you hear that all the time, but we want it to be something that they really enjoy doing. This is definitely a community.
After taking a hit from COVID,
I'd say completely, we're just now getting to where we were back then.
community just means more for a family-owned studio.
We've been training over 10 years, and once they start coming, we feel like they continue to come. That's why we've grown.
One thing to remember whenever it comes to your New Year's resolutions is it's okay to fail, especially whenever you get a little tired. But you don't have to wait an entire year to get back into the swing of things. In Augusta, Sydney Hood on your side.
And there is no time like the present. It only takes a couple of weeks to make a habit. Every year, year, thousands of kids receive care from the Children's Hospital of Georgia here at home, and no family is turned away regardless of their ability to pay. With the new year now here, the hospital is preparing to see more faces. Our Zana Halliburton takes a look back on some of the families the hospital has helped.
More than 75,000 kids are treated at the Children's Hospital of Georgia every year. They treat common childhood illnesses to life-threatening conditions like heart disorders, cancer, and neurological diseases. Avery is one of many kids who had heart surgery at the Children's Hospital. He was 13 days old.
They told us he was going to need surgeries and that he was going to be fine. And I think being with them, just knowing that they're so comfortable and confident in what they're doing, they increased our confidence. It was like, okay, he's going to be okay.
Children's is home to the area's only pediatric trauma care with a level 1 pediatric intensive care unit and a level 4 neonatal intensive care unit, a place Baby Brooks knows all too well. He was born early at 1 pound and 10 ounces and would spend months in the NICU.
It is a true roller coaster, but it gets better and there is light at the end of the tunnel, and these babies are fighters.
It's the only facility in the area dedicated exclusively to kids. Krista Maddox says she's forever grateful for the care her daughter Juliet received. She now holds events to raise awareness about Down syndrome.
When they save your baby's life, you know, you feel like you owe everything to everybody that works here that's given her attention, that come and hold her, that come cuddle her.
The hospital is a not-for-profit, so they rely on donations year-round to continue serving families. They also need more people to help give the gift of life. CHOG is only one of 2 programs in the state of Georgia providing kidney transplants.
Since I didn't really have much of a social life, it was harder for me to communicate, especially with my doctors or people I didn't know. But when it came to Children's, it was a lot easier because they sort of catered to me and my situation.
The Children's Hospital of Georgia is a place we hope we never have to use, but if we do, they're ready to help. Reporting in Augusta, Zana Halliburton, on your side.
And if you want to learn more about the Children's Hospital of Georgia or how to make a donation, we have all of that on our website. Just search Miracle Monday. You can also watch our previous Miracle Monday stories all there as well.
All right, as we continue on through the next couple of hours, we're going to be staying nice and clear. Some patchy fog develops by morning. Then we're talking about possibly some stronger storms by tomorrow evening. When we're checking that forecast when we come back.
Thanks for watching News 12 on your side.
When you've been hurting, TwoSoul.com.
Where we live is constantly growing, changing, evolving.
Have you seen Columbia County?
That's why our newscasts are evolving to fit your schedule.
Your days are always different, so your newscast should be too.
If it happens in our area, you'll see it first at 4.
And for the latest updates and breaking news, that's Live at 5. Then it's all new at 6 o'clock as we dig deeper into local stories, including investigations you'll only see by our IT.
No matter how you end your day, News 12 is on your side.
Hey, George State Injury Lawyers.
Well, tonight, a good majority of your Tuesday will remain on the drier side, but our first wave of energy will move through the region as we go through about 9 to 10 o'clock tomorrow evening, giving us some heavier downpours, some thunderstorms, and then some strong to potentially even severe storms will move through the region as we go through early on Wednesday morning. The first half of our morning there, closer to about 10:30, 11 o'clock or so, that wave will start to push through our northern and western counties first, then exit the CSRA as we go through the afternoon. Some stronger storms, definitely a possibility. The Storm Prediction Center does have us under a marginal level 1 risk for the entire CSRA, so we keep a close eye on that as we go through the next several days. After that, cooler temperatures and the sunshine returns.
Okay, we have more news coming at you tonight at 11.